Good morning and welcome to the Treasure Picker. I just really want to show you some of the sales that I made in January. Certainly some of the more interesting ones. I had a lot of boring ones, and actually it hasn't been the best month ever. But hey, you know, we do what we can in January, and I've been listing like the Furies and really trying to sort out my stock. So I'm not even going to show you the room around it because it's a mess. Anywho, what I really wanted to show you was something that sold very, very quickly. You can tell I haven't mastered screen sharing yet, for which I can only apologise, but I really felt I should get something out for you all, because you're very patient, even with a techie numpty like me. So, we have an Arsenal black training football top. This was a Nike one. It was absolutely fabulous. This was a nice find, and it really hadn't been worn at all. There we go. Having that in the house when you've got a husband who's a Tottenham supporter, I had to keep very quiet about that. But there we go, a nice price of $31.99. I worked out that the excuse me, I worked out that the spend on this was probably about £3, and it was immaculate. It really helps when they're in a big size. I know nothing about football stuff really, but I will pick up things that are in good condition and don't cost me too much. So there we go, that's probably about £3 in outlay. Next. Here we go. Never looks quite so good on camera as it does actually me looking at the screen. This is a vintage dress, and I'll always pick up vintage dresses, particularly if they're in nice condition. And this one still had a tag attached, so it hadn't been worn. If I zoom in a bit to there, see if I can get a better picture up for you. It's one of these sort of styles where it was belted. There we go, you can see that it had these amazing buttons, these big sort of leery buttons, but it was a great colour. It was a fitted style, and I thought it would do well. This again was another find, and I think it cost me about £3. Sometimes when I buy a job lot from a contact that I've got, it works out around anywhere between £2.50 to £3 an item. That's why I'm not being very precise, because I just put overall spend on my books and then list the items out. So this was absolutely lovely. If you like that sort of thing. I'd look like someone's nan in it, but then that's me, isn't it, really? And it's a bizarre, I don't think it's a Bolo brand. I'm not sure Richard Stump is a sought-after label. But there we go. Keywords that are very useful for this are things like work, secretary dress, acrylic, which is what it was, gives away its age. So there we go, another wee lovely thing. Actually, if I zip these out, let me go back to the Arsenal one and get rid of it. Oh well, okay. Right, Russell and Bromley. I think everyone knows how lovely Russell and Bromley are, but some things do better than others. And these boots also cost me about £3, part of a bundle. This sort of very blocky heel, let me see if I can show it more clearly, is surprisingly popular at the moment. There we go. Can we see the blocky heel? Do I have a nice picture of there? There we go. This sort of block heel is very popular because it's actually surprisingly easy to stand in, but still looks elegant. They were suede. Yes, they were just a tiny bit too big for me because I love things like this. But they really had a nice feel, and this is very much a style of boot that seems to be in at the moment. So $29.99 was fair. The problem with suede is, of course, however much you're careful and clean it, it does start to look a little knocked about if it's not being looked after through its life. Oh, that's attractive, isn't it? There we go, let's get rid of that. So, next. Oh, everyone will recognise this name. I don't come across this stuff very often, but whatever condition it's in, I would say grab it, because this wasn't in the most fantastic condition, but it was a little faded. It looks a lot darker on your screen than it actually is on the real screen, if you get my drift. It's this kind of sort of spotty, and you can see there that it's a little bit bobbly. It had been worn, but it was a lovely colour for somebody, and they bought it very quickly. This also, I think I paid about £2.50 for this in the charity shop. It's a brand they obviously didn't know. These kind of stealth brands that they haven't caught on to yet are well worth keeping an eye out for. And I would say anything. Certainly the word organic helps. Yes, you got the back over there. Lovely. There we go. Lovely. So $39.99. I was very surprised. I thought I was really chancing my arm asking that much for it. but the customer's very happy with it. And in fact, this stuff is horribly expensive new. It does have a quality feel, but I'm not in love with it myself, but it's that lager look kind of thing that everybody likes at the moment. It covers a multitude of sins, I feel. Gosh, a lovely pause there of a blank screen. Here we go. Right, now a lot of people are having trouble with their lokes, and I think the problem is style and condition. A lot of these brands will do very well if you've got like the Oxford and Derby shoes, the lace-ups. Slip-ons, not so much, but these were, I did quite a bit of research to find out they were called Mickey. They were good size, being a size 10 UK. In fact, my husband, the chap actually contacted me and said, can you tell me if they squeak when you wear them? I thought, well, I'm not going to wear them. My feet aren't that size. No. He said, I've already got a pair of these and I want to replace them because they squeak. So thankfully, my husband is a size 10, tried them on and thought they were wonderful, and there wasn't a single peep on any surface. So I was quite delighted with that. And I said to my husband, I said, look, you know, I didn't think you'd like these, to be honest. I didn't think they were your thing, but they look amazing. So if he doesn't buy them, obviously they're yours. But he bought them. I do have a nice pair of shoe trees. I always state they're not included, but it really makes them look nice and very classy. So they were a nice thing, and they sold quite well, $49.99 in their first 30-day cycle. I pretty much put all my auctions on 30-day cycle because it works for me. Here we go. Let's bear with while it comes through. Hey, now this might be a look out for dress, something to look out for. This make, I think, is fairly rare. It's Diablesse, or it's Diablesse with a comma in it. It's not particularly old. It's in vintage style. If I can show you a little bit here. There we go. That's an easy way to do it. You see, it's all really rather sweet. Oh, that screen makes your eyes go though, doesn't it? A very thin, very lightweight slip of a thing, of nothing. But it's quite a sought after brand. So if you ever find anything like this, don't discount it just because it seems a little bit flimsy. I got $23.49 for that. I think it was when I was having a New Year's sale, which I did on a few things. Probably more of a summer dress. Excuse me, slurping. That's a very large cup of coffee I've got there. And yeah, so that all went down rather well. But yeah, I mean, it's practically see-through though. I mean, heavens above, someone wears that on a sunny day, everyone's going to see all the outlines. So there we go. Nice dress. Next. Wait for it. Oh, okay. Well, you don't want that, do you? You want to be seeing what it was. Ah. Now, I've got very few plushes now. I've gotten rid of most of them, but there are some. If I see them and they look funky enough and they're cheap enough, then I think I paid £1.50 for this in the charity shop. $17.99, rubies, quite a big one. I just like these sort of things. They appeal to me to look at. So if I see something that looks a bit funky, I'll grab it. And no, I haven't found a flat Eric yet. I want to. I'm looking for one, but blow me, no chance. So I thought it was rather sweet. So a bigger one was quite good there. Like I say, £1.50. I didn't say, I'm being very, very slack today, aren't I? Very slack in that I didn't tell you that the Diablesse dress before was a £2 purchase. Okay. Gosh. Slow's mobile today. Ah, I like art. I don't buy a lot of it, but when I saw these little cutie kitties, and these were literally about 4 inches square, a set of them. There's a local artist that I keep picking up that obviously was popular at one time and is now ending up in the charity shops. These little kitties are what I would say are quite naively painted. I wouldn't say that they were Rembrandts or anything wonderful, but they were oils, they were original. I've declared that there were some scuffs and things. If I can get it to show. There we go. Excuse this jumping around, it's not very nice to watch, is it? There we go. So I sold the lot for $29.99. You know, there's Kitty playing with a ball. Nice little black cats. Black cats have a very popular following, and I tend to buy anything that's got cats on it. So that wasn't bad. I actually paid £2.50 for the set in a charity shop quite some while ago. I've had these a long time. A slow seller. But, you know, they didn't take up much space, and you expect to hang on to this sort of thing for a while. Next. Let's try and hold you steady and not make everyone feel seasick. Oh man. Right, I thought I'd lined these up. Apologies. Right, here we go. Now, I have to thank Carla Jenkins for this, for the look out on Filofaxes. I'm of an age when I used to have one in the day when it was the thing. I actually came across this one in a charity shop, and it was only a couple of quid. I actually, there we go, genuine. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Genuine Filofax. It had the scuffs. Now, oh dear man, I am so sorry. No one wants to see that. It actually did have the slight sort of coating coming away effect on the outside. I did declare it all, and I did include pictures, but I actually did go and order these extras online. It had the dividers, it had the plastic pouches and everything, the little ruler, but I did do an address one and an organiser one. I didn't do a diary because I didn't want to limit them to this year, now that this year's well underway. And although I spent £2 on the item, and I think I spent £5 in total on the 2 pieces, and it's still $32.99. So, you know, don't discount them even if they're not perfect. And thank you very much, Carla Jenkins. I was very pleased to have that. It had plainly not been used or anything. It was still in its original packaging, but storage, I think, is what happens to those. Poor storage. They don't do so well. Blank screen again. And here we go. Now this, I am notoriously awful at retail arbitrage. I'll confess, it's not my bag, and I've basically given up on it. However, I did buy 4 of these originally. It's a PS3 game, and I bought them probably at very much the wrong time. I've had these best part of a year. But because it was the collector's version, and it came with a truly offensive statue in it, which I'm not sure if I can show you. Let me try and do it. There we go, there's a little statue in the back. And people are now collecting these. So I'm getting a handsome price for them. I think I actually paid $9.99 for these. I was cursing them for the space they were taking up. They were quite a sizable box. Yeah, quite happy that I've sold all those. Now, that was the last one gone. So I probably won't do that retail arbitrage again. But that particular one, yeah, pretty good. And that was, oh, excuse me, that was God of War. And it is collectors. Oh, I wish it wouldn't do that. Ooh. Yes, nice omega symbol there. Not sure what that's all about. So, yes, dabbling in a field I know nothing about, but that one was not a complete fail. I still have some copies of Speak Out, though, I have to say. But there you go. Don't know what to do with them. I'll work it out. Right, camper boots. I think people know about camper boots. If you don't, for goodness sake, if you ever see them, grab them. They are so good, and I didn't realise how good these were. I did pay £10 for these in the charity shop. I snapped them up. Didn't even need a second glance. They are comfortable. They are brilliant boots. I'd have kept them myself if they'd been black, but they're brown, and I don't do brown, so... yeah, lovely. Hardly worn. Beautiful things. But yeah, I was able to get £100 for those. So that was probably my sale of the week. If it will stop jumping. I was trying to show you that they didn't have too much wear on them. But that's just going to make everyone feel really, really queasy. But a lovely thing. Please, please, please grab them. Don't mind about spending out on them, because you will make the money back. Particularly on the long boots. Excuse me. Right, now it's a bit difficult to see what this is because it's not gorgeous. Is it going to do this properly? This was a skirt, and it's a suede skirt. Now these were very, very in, sort of in the early noughties, I would say, and very, very in the 70s, and this was an original 1970s one. I picked it up because it was very long, a nice maxi skirt length, and in quite good nick. People don't mind if these don't look brand new. I have said it's got signs of wear and a few marks. This colour suede just does. But it was a modern size 12-14, so a sensible size for a vintage item. And I got £26.99 for it, which I was quite pleased about. I think I paid £4 for this in the charity shop. So that was quite a healthy resale. I don't buy every suede skirt I see, but maxis are in. It was A-line. And it was really nice quality, very beautifully lined, and obviously a good designer of its day. Yes, another one of these. This is the second one I've sold. It's E.T. It's the Furby one that makes all the weird noises and creeps you out when you least expect it. This one's jacket was a little bobbly, but I know how collectible they are. Picture of him working there with his little light on. It's the creepiest thing you've ever seen. My son hates these, but I will always grab them because that's the money they go for. So yes, there he is, E.T., the creepiest toy I've ever had to deal with. I paid £3.50 for this one, and that was a charity shop. Here we go, off into blank space again. The state of my mind on a regular basis. Now this was quite hideous. And I speak honestly because we actually bought this. This was mine. I think we bought it when we were in Italy or Spain or somewhere many, many years ago. And it was hand-blown glass. It actually quite tricky to photograph. It had a lot of metallic pieces in it. I do like red. It actually looks far better when lit from behind, but I didn't have the time to arrange it. So I looked at similar things and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go high on it. And blame me if it didn't get bought within the week. So there we go. I didn't enjoy wrapping that to post, I can tell you. Although it's a thick slab of glass. Deeply heavy. I had to wrap it up like God knows what because Hermes have been playing football with my parcels lately. So I wasn't delighted. So there we go. It was one of those things that I kind of liked when I got it and then sort of went off it rapidly, and it's been sat in a drawer for a very long time. But there we go. Just shows you. Ugly sells and people still like it. I guess it's still got a very 90s feel about it. 90s is vintage now, so that makes me extremely vintage. And very old. Right. Moving on. You may have heard a noise in the background. That was my husband going off to the gym. Right, this is me and my lover's studio pottery. I picked up these pieces so long ago because I liked them. And I wouldn't have paid more than £1.50 each. But these are sort of like a bird beak vase. And this is called Camini Studio Pottery. This is the make. And they're surprisingly popular, which I didn't realise. I love anything with the blue glaze, and I do love studio pottery. But I sold these for $39.99. I sold them because I just haven't got enough space to display all these things. Oh, here we go again. Why does it do that? Ew. There we are. Camini. So definitely a bolo. You'll see little pieces of this out and about. It's Greek. It's not actually Scandinavian. It's actually made in Greece, but it is the Scandi style, and they do look stunning displayed. So I sold these as a pair because I thought they kind of went together. And yeah, another bugger to post, but they've arrived in one piece. I have a happy customer, so I'm happy. Moving on. Gosh, we're going through all of these. Oh, I loved these. Cornwall scenes. Yay! They were so bright and they were in really nice condition. They're all seaside scenes. I know they were different coastal villages, some of which I could have a guess of and some of which I hadn't got a clue. They were rather lovely. I paid £3 for these in a charity shop, $2.99. I'm just trying to see where my cursor is, so maybe I can show you some of the other ones. There we go, it's rather beautiful. They're a very quirky style, but I found the artist, a lady called Celia Duncan. And here we go. That's St Michael's Mount. I did recognise that one. And I thought they were absolutely charming and really fun and really delightful. They're very bright and colourful and in really good condition. So I was quite happy to sell those for $29.99. Quite happy indeed. It was a lovely sale. I had those, probably I'd had them for, they were on about their third cycle. These sort of things are unusual and quirky and they don't go fast. You just literally, it's like patient fishing. You kind of dangle the line in and hope that somebody bites, and it just depends who's passing. Yes, this looks like fabric. It's actually curtains. Oh. But I can spot William Morris Sanderson fabric a mile off. And this is beautiful fabric. They weren't lined, they were curtains that had been done quite some time ago. This was the best picture to really show them. This is a pattern called Golden Lily Minor, but it's actually a very rare pattern. Very hard to find. It took me a lot of research to find out which one it was. So, yeah, it's an unusual colourway. So they sold for £60. I had them for quite a while. Again, it was a long lead, a slow seller. But, you know, I can bear with that. I'm quite happy to get that amount of money, because curtains are always sold quite cheaply in our charity shops. I think because they're big, they're bulky, and they want them out of the way. And I think I paid £5 for this pair of curtains. So, not a bad return on my investment. And the next one. Ah, yes, a very strange looking onesie type arrangement. In fact, I would say look out for these, because although kind of athletic leisure wear, you know what I mean. The trend for sportswear as everyday wear is quite key at the moment. But this was quite old, although in good condition. I put speed suit, cat suit, unitard. I just put every keyword on there: lycra, running, vintage. And it sold really, really fast. I may have underpriced even. It was a strange thing. I've never seen one like this before with the legs in. And it's just kind of luck that I actually have the Adidas kind of black model to put her on. I actually picked that up for 50p at a flea market where no one really wanted it. So it's been very useful for displaying swimwear, because you can't really do swimwear on a regular mannequin. As you'll know, there's an issue with the pole and the wrong shape. And this just works well. So there we go. That sold quite quickly. I think I got that for about £2. It was languishing in the bottom of the basket of things when no one was bothering to rummage. So yeah, it might be weird, but vintage Adidas, vintage athletic leisure wear is always a good bet. Now these, yeah, they come out all right. Timberland, again, these biker boots, they never really go out of fashion. This sort of, yeah, the ones with the more Cuban-y heel, the more Western looking ones do well. These were Timberland. They weren't perfect, but they were pretty good, and I still got $44.99 for them. Again, in a size 5, a bit easier size to sell. They had this lovely detail, so I knew they were genuine. They just had that feel. They're really, really nice. Nice pair of boots that sold quite quickly. They went on their first cycle for $44.99. I paid £5 for these at a charity shop. Some charity shops do seem to price their shoes incredibly high, but it's also worth looking out for boots now, because basically they're trying to clear their shelves because they want to start stocking summer stuff. So now's the time to go around and pick up boots. Even if you've got some space, stick them away for next year, or list them anyway, because some people like me like wearing boots practically till it's flip-flop season. So yeah, worth doing. And this one, well, Iron Maiden aren't exactly my thing, but there was something about it that told me it was an original t-shirt. I've dabbled with t-shirts. This was on a sale because I'd had it for quite a while. It was much worn and loved, and it had faded a bit, so it was truly a genuine thing. Horrific images of war and skeletons and general nastiness. There we go. And it had the tour dates on the back. I find if you've got tour dates on the back, you're pretty much guaranteed it's a proper thing. It's a genuine thing. I'm just trying to look as I show you. There we go. Fruit with a Loom. There's an old brand. You can see the fading. So that went for £31.49. Not bad for a £3 t-shirt that I picked up in a charity shop. Always worth having a look at the old stuff. So there you go. That's my wee sales haul. I hope that's been informative. It's a bit of a bugger to do it this way. I will learn to screen share, but no matter how many times I try, for some reason I can't seem to do it. So I'm having a bit of a tech fail. But I hope there's things of interest there. I will try and put another one out, because there's lots more that's interesting. Oh, look. I have to give a shout out to the lovely Walter O'Neill. Not Neil. Walter O'Neill from Antiques Arena. He knows so much about antiques, I cannot tell you. He's got a shop out in the wilds of Wales, and it is utterly fabulous, and I'm trying to learn more about antiques, so a fantastic shout out to Walter O'Neill. He's actually doing a diet as well, bless him, and it's really working well. I should take note, but I'm not. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like, give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, fantastic, and I will try and post a little more often. Bye!